Hello, Mario. Engineering, Design and Drawing. MG5005, Session 8, the Picnic Table 3. Hello, and welcome to this video introducing Session 8, the third session that we've spent on the picnic table. And there are more to come. So, let's go and have a look at the large screen. Here we are in Moodle, and we're into session 8 already. 8 weeks gone. So before you come to class, always a good idea to review the session, see what's involved. So obviously the video you're watching here now, session plan, session notes. Have you noted the washers on the table? Have you? Because you're required to note everything. So you need to note where there are washers, what type of washers they are. Are they spring washers, flat washers, square or round? And all sorts of things that washers can be. Also down here we've got some information on welding, riv nuts. I wonder what relevance that could have. Mario measures the radius of an arc. So previous years about this time had a few questions about how do you measure the radius of an arc. And so I made a little video on that. Also was getting some questions about invoices. What's an invoice and that? So made a little video on that. Now in here you can see there's a picnic table example here, but that's faded out. So that's one that I use to show people in class if they ask for examples, because I want the essence of the work to come from you for your ideas, and so to have something of yours rather than a reflection of my old and decrepit ideas. I want something fresh that comes from you, the student. So you've got to apply your creative skills to come up with something that really sells your product and your business and things like that. So I need you to think about these. You can use mine as an example, as a stepping stone to bigger and better things, by all means. So, yes, here we are. So that's a bit of a review of the information. So let's have a look at the session notes, because that includes the session plans, and by way of a PowerPoint here. So there it is coming up. And there's the PowerPoint with the title. Let's do a slideshow from the beginning, and there's the title that you've seen of the video, obviously. So yeah, we don't need any more of that, so let's move on. And here's our session plan, which is very similar to every other session plan. We're going to come in. Don't forget to sign the register. If you don't sign the register, your name's not on the register, you're not here. So don't rely on my memory to remember you're here. Sign the bit of paper and have your name recorded officially as being here. So then we're going to go through a bit of an intro, and then you can work away on the assignment work. There's a second 3-hour session later on in the week. And that's going to give you the opportunity to do a Q&A, ask me some questions that come up, but you can of course put them in the comments here on the YouTube, or you can email me, catch me directly, text or whatever, and get those questions there, and then I'll try and answer them as best I can, provided you know, I haven't got too much of a backload and my inbox is not too full. So I try to respond as quickly as I possibly can, but sometimes, you know, that's not always possible to meet the expectations of of students, but I do my best. Alrighty, so moving on. So in this session, I'm hoping that you'll get some understanding of the picnic table assignment, obviously, a bit more as you get into it and look at it more closely. Some knowledge of measuring circular arcs. I've got that little video that I showed you there earlier. Knowledge of fixing nuts and bolts and welding. Reviewed more CAD skills, because CAD skills accumulate. Should be constantly looking at acquiring new skills, applying the skills differently, or looking at ways of making things faster, bigger and better. And don't forget, you should have updated your diary and understood what to do before next week. So read ahead a little bit, anticipate, send some questions my way, make me work hard so that I earn my money and that sort of thing. So there we go. All right. So is your diary up to date? My bi-weekly reminder that diaries are important. Keep a record so that you know what's what you've done, and of course you get some marks for doing it as well. So that's always good. Alright, so the basic 2D CAD is coming to an end now. I think you should have, well, on my timeline I've suggested that it should be handed in and ready for marking. Some of you have got had a little problems with PDF and various things, or skill sheets. So there's still opportunities to get those sorted and get them signed off by me. But the main thing is, the most important thing is that you communicate with me. Tell me so I know what's going on. I haven't immediately started marking things, so there's a little bit of scope for a little bit of wriggle room here and there. But you must tell me, like, it's not a something that you, not a right or an entitlement. It's something that we communicate and talk about between the two of us, so that we can each know where we stand with the other and what the outcomes are going to be. So the basic 2D CAD, you should definitely be completing that and starting to now work on the picnic table project, which is worth a good dollop of marks. So you need to put some good effort into that. Alright, so there's the skill sheet from the basic 2D CAD. Now I realise that I have been away and so there are some opportunities to get that finished. By all means, it's good insurance policy, making sure that you've got some acknowledgement that I've seen you with those skills, and that can get submitted by email with your basic 2D CAD assignment. So the picnic table Q&A in the class live situation about now, I'll take some questions. If you have got some questions, you could raise a comment in the YouTube, send me an email, catch me in the corridor, on the student street, or whatever. But ask those questions, and I will try and answer them as best I can, and try and record those answers somewhere here on the Moodle site. So yeah, let's get into that. So the picnic table is where we should be focusing our efforts and trying to get that all sorted sort of round about midterm break time, so that after the break we can be full-time looking at our major project, which will be the electrical, the house wiring for the electrical, the small Meccano car for the mechanicals, and the cul-de-sac project for the civils. Alright, so we branch into our various disciplines. Okay, so before next class, review resources. The resources have been put there in the order that people have asked for information and things like that. So always important that you review resources before class, generate questions, send the questions through, follow through, make sure that nothing goes unanswered. That's the way to do it. And so what's new on Moodle? So let's just have a bit of a look at Moodle and a bit of a review. Let's get rid of that there and that there, but it would appear, and that there, and we're back here at the Moodle site. Here we go. So yeah, so I think I've pretty much got it covered. The session notes we've done, the welding details. What's that all about? Well, that's some stuff from a welding Bible called I'm informed, called Boundy, and that gives all things welding are in Boundy. You can see this is a book that or something that was given to me by another tutor, and they've got it all marked up and ready. So this tells you all of the information about welding and the names of welds and stuff like that. So this is important because there's welding on the table. So you need to have a bit of an understanding of welding. I think the thing you must understand about welding, of course, is that it takes time and it costs money. So if you're going to be welding on your table, you need to include it in the costs of manufacture and the time. Always important. So yeah, a little bit about welding, and here a little bit about the riv nuts, or riv I think standing for rivets, but again a little bit of information about the riv nut and the riv nut catalogue here, which just shows perhaps not the specific ones that we've got there, but so you can get a bit of an idea of how they work. So these are just some ideas to get you thinking, put everything into context, how to measure the radius of an arc, and the anatomy of an invoice. What is an invoice and what have you. So that's all there. If we go to the assessment tab here, you'll see that the table assignment is there. There's a briefing there, and that's the actual assignment hard copy, copy there. So yeah, I think in the way of a briefing, I don't think there's too much more that we need to look at, really. Yeah, I think we can pretty much. I think that's covered everything I want to say. So as I said, most importantly, if you have any questions, you can put comments on this YouTube channel. You can email me, you know where I am, or you can talk to me directly in class. But yeah, we should be moving ahead with this picnic table one there and drawing it up. I'm getting a few good questions. Perhaps I should say a little bit about 3D. Now, I'm not a big 3D person. I don't draw much in 3D by the way of mechanical and picnic table type things. Now, a couple of people have come to me and said, oh, what do I do? And I've said, well, I've set the example for you. What you can do is you need to find a good video and a little project and just have a bit of a crack. And a couple of people have come back to me and said, oh, I've got a video and I'm having a look at the 3D, and they're really enjoying it. It seems to be really good fun. They're liking it. And I said, well, just follow the couple of videos and follow and get it and draw what you want to draw. And that's how it seems to be working, and this has been true every year. There's been an initial reluctance, But once people have sort of realised that they can do it themselves and teach themselves, and if they've got some questions and problems, by all means I'll listen to them. I probably won't be able to answer them, but I have in the past been able to come up with suitable solutions. There are people around that I know have got the answers or can help, and they're only too willing to help. The hardest thing about getting help is asking. If you ask someone, well, they either say yes or no. If they say no, well, you can call them names and label them all sorts of things. But generally, people will be helpful and want to help you. So all you have to do is ask and learn to ask, and yeah, things will go well for you. So enough philosophy for one day. Let's call it quits. Cheers. See you.